Hi, my name's Jo Hodge and I'm one of the writers of this fantastic new scheme called Max Computing. This is one of the student workbooks that are also teacher guides to accompany the programme. We're going to take a little bit of a deeper look into a couple of the units. And one of the units we're going to look at today is from Book 1, Unit 1, which is called Crazy Computers. In the contents page, you've got all of the lessons listed there within that unit. And you can see there that there are 6 lessons. At the end of every unit, there is a test that the children can do to test their understanding. And also it gives you an assessment tool as well. All of the lessons will have those differentiated activities within them. You've got beginner, intermediate, etc. So look for those icons. And of course, within each unit, the children are not going to be expected to get up to take it further, which is the challenging activity. We're going to look at lesson 1 first, which with all units has an introductory lesson. At the beginning, you've got the lesson objectives, all about computers, which gives you a bit of background information and explains to the students where they're going to end up, what are they expecting to be achieving by the end of this unit. You've got a lovely fun fact, which this is really funny because this is about the computer, which it says the first computer was the size of a small room, which is quite interesting, isn't it? And then you've got the questions as well. Now, this lesson is very much just introducing computers and letting them look at some pictures and decide what sort of computer is that. Because although we assume they know that a mobile phone is a computer, they might not realise that a mobile phone has a computer. They might not realise a washing machine has a computer. So it's looking at devices that maybe they're not familiar with. Lesson 2 dives more into actually how computers work. And it looks at different computers and how they perform different tasks. For example, your washing machine computer is just a timer, isn't it, to make the washing machine stop and start on time and temperature, etc. Whereas a tablet computer has a very different purpose. It's very much focused on unplugged activities. There are activities that don't require a computer. So a lot of this is talking about instructions, how computers follow instructions, and we call it software. And you can see here there's like the house instructions, it's all the wrong way around, putting the instructions in the right order and understanding that's how a computer works, that things have to be done in a certain sequence. Lesson 3, we start to look at using a particular type of computer. And in this case, it's a tablet computer. We talk very much looking at the different sort of components within a tablet computer. So you've got like the touch screen, you've got the power button, and obviously, if we move the screen, what happens to the images when you rotate the screen? So it's those very basic skills that are really, really important when using a tablet. I like the fun fact because it's linked to binary, and that's talking about the computer language of switches, which is 1 and 0. If switch is on, it does something, switches off, it doesn't. And it links it to power buttons, which is a nice link to understand because binary is quite a difficult concept. And again, at the end of every lesson, just as a reminder, you've got those checkpoint questions. And I like the well dones as well, because that's giving the children, well done, you've done this, you've achieved this. So it's linking it back to the objectives as well. The children so far then have learnt about different types of computer. They've looked specifically at components within a tablet computer. And this one is now looking at software. The lesson's called Selecting Software. And they're exploring the icons and how each icon has a different purpose. One of the key things about this lesson is it talks about the fact that certain icons are appropriate for the people using it. Online safety is really important at the moment. We don't want children using a social media app, for example, icon that's not suitable for their age group. And again, we've got a lovely illustrations on here. We've got the activities pointed out and the checkpoints again. Lesson 5, the children are starting to use software, and particular drawing software. In the teacher guide, all that software is there for you and listed, and it's free to download for different platforms. So for this unit, it recommends like Apple Freeform for tablets devices. You've got iPaint, and there's different ways that you can use those free resources. Don't forget though that you can adapt those resources for anything you want. You might have a different paint package that you want to use. That's absolutely fine. But the planning is so useful and easy to follow that you can just adapt it to fit that software to suit your own needs really. And the activities again for this one are looking at brush and copy tools within the lessons. And it gives you the lovely little icons that they would see within those packages. The last lesson then is sort of looking at the things that they've learned so far, but then still exploring those drawing tools within the software that they've chosen to use. It gives them more of a freedom. Like you as a teacher, I've got a different app that I would probably use for this rather than those ones. You choose what suits your school and your individual needs. They're looking particularly at shape, fill, text and select tools within this programme. The teacher guide will give you all the answers associated with this if you wonder what would the children be expected to produce from doing those activities. And remind yourself about the checklist at the end. Every unit ends with an end of unit test, and this one's called the Crazy Computers test. In this section, for example, there are 6 questions, but units later on, or grades later on, might have more questions, and they might be expected to write more. In this sort of questions, you've got like circling activities, you've got matching activities, and you've got close activities, but the word banks are provided to give them the best support available.